Tom. All right, Toastmasters, it's that time of year again where we need to select our officers. Toastmasters is not just about communication skills, it's also about leadership skills, and this is how we do it. And in fact, if you've ever actually took the time to read those 10 Toastmaster promises, one of them did say that as a Toastmaster, you will step up when called upon in an officer role. So let's see what we have available and what will work for you. Why serve? Besides it being part of your Toastmaster promise. Level up your leadership. Communication's there. We're working on that all the time, but leadership is another one. This is a great thing. You put it on resumes, and I have heard from employers quite a bit that when they see that you are in a Toastmaster leadership role, that really makes a difference. And sorry, no corner office. You can make a real difference, help our fellow Toastmasters grow. I listen to people all the time, but why did they join Toastmasters? It's usually something very, very personal. However, why do people stay in Toastmasters? You get to know a lot of other people in your club and you want to see their achievements. You want to help them grow. And if you've gotten the opportunity to watch their very first icebreaker speech, and then you listen to some speeches later on, it's amazing to see the growth that happens. Well, to be an officer, you need to do that for at least 1 year as a prerequisite to becoming a distinguished Toastmaster. That is the highest level communication and leadership award that Toastmasters gives out. So that's those DTMs you see after people's names, such as mine. You can be called a distinguished Toastmaster. The next reason, really, we're only asking for a year. We have a small club, so you might want to stay in a little bit longer, but we're only asking for a year at this time. So it doesn't have to be a huge commitment. And with this club, we help each other out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. These are the two top roles, if I may. The president, who currently is Tom Masters, and the vice president of education, who is myself. The president leads the team and sets the club's direction as to where are we going? Why are we here? What are we doing? In this club, we switch around that presiding officer role. Most clubs are started by the sergeant at arms, which we'll talk about in just a second, and the president. But in this club, we're kind of helping Tom share that role. And then they champion that distinguished club program that we're all working towards. And that's why we really need to grow our membership so we can get to that distinguished status this year. The vice president of education schedules the speeches, the roles, the meeting assignments. We use that free Toast Host site. We guide members through their pathways education, and we coordinate our members if you want them, and then speech contests. Now, we haven't been eligible for quite a while for speech contests, but we now have 8 members, and we're hoping to keep that even stronger so people can compete in those speech contests. The growth engine of the Toastmasters Club is the vice president of membership, who is currently myself, and the vice president of public relations, who is currently Phyllis Moore. The vice president of membership welcomes our guests, hopefully converts them into members, plans activities and to grow our membership, and then they monitor our membership levels. Now, the vice president of public relations, they're the ones that, hey, we're here, come on in. So they promote the club to the community and on our social media. They're also in charge of the social media and our online presence. That's Phyllis, but she doesn't do it alone. I help her with the website. We all help her with the social media as well. And she protects and champions the Toastmaster brand to make sure we are on task with that. The backbone of the club. Now, these two jobs are minute in this club. The secretary, yes, maintains the club records, the minutes and correspondence. We pretty much, again, keep that all on free Toast Host. We keep the membership roster current. Really, the vice president of membership in this club does more of that, but in conjunction with the secretary. And then after our elections, the secretary signs on to Toastmaster International, sees the list of all of our people, and puts which officer role they've decided to take for the next year. And that one's done. The sergeant at arms, because we meet on Zoom, they don't do a lot there. But when we do get the opportunity to meet in person, they set up and prepare the meeting room and the materials. Like everybody else here, we greet the members with a warm welcome and open meetings and introduce the president. In our club, because we're so small, we don't make the sergeant at arms do that. So it's pretty much holding a title at this point. My question to you is, are you ready to step up, sign up, and lead? Every officer gets this opportunity to grow as a leader, make lasting friendships, and shape the future of Lino Lakes Toastmasters. Here's the roles available. I am proposing that I will stay in as treasurer unless somebody else would like that role or you don't want me in that role anymore, simply because I've got the bank account and the signing. For this upcoming year, we need a president because Tom cannot stay in that role. We would like to have somebody take over the vice president of education if they possibly can. And of course, I would mentor in that. We would have an opening for the vice president of membership, the vice president of public relations, which is the social media stuff. If you're really excited about that, we'd love to have you step up to that. Heather has offered to take on the secretary role. I should have put that in there already. And then we need somebody to be our sergeant at arms. I want you to think about these roles, think about your potential interest in any of these roles. And if you do have an interest, go ahead and put it in the chat. And in May, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to email everybody out, really formally ask about your interest. If you want to talk further about these roles, please contact me, contact Phyllis, contact Tom to see how it's going there. And we'll be happy to talk to you about these roles. Matt has stepped up, said he's willing to take a role, so we'll put him on the roster as well. So everybody, we'd love for you to step up. Take a role if you're interested. Put it in the chat if there's something you're really interested in, and I'll be reaching out to all of you in the next couple of weeks.